For an old Cape buffalo, surviving lions isn't always the hardest part of life. Sometimes, the greatest battle is against creatures no bigger than a grape. This old bull has spent days carrying hundreds of blood-filled ticks across his body. Around his eyes, behind his ears, along his neck, and deep inside the folds of his skin, they've been feeding around the clock. Every bite steals blood, irritates the skin, and increases the risk of infection. He's tried shaking them off. It doesn't work. Ticks anchor themselves with specialized mouthparts that lock firmly into the skin, making them incredibly difficult to remove. But this buffalo has learned something remarkable. He knows exactly where to go. First comes the river. Standing almost perfectly still, he allows tiny freshwater fish to investigate his skin. These fish carefully pick at parasites hiding in places the buffalo can never reach himself. Even a few removed ticks can bring noticeable relief to an animal carrying hundreds. The problem doesn't end there. Some ticks remain buried too deeply. Others cling with astonishing strength. Back on land, the true scale of the infestation becomes impossible to ignore. Large, swollen ticks crowd together in thick clusters. Every step the buffalo takes, every blink, every ear flick reminds him they're still there. And there's another danger. An animal that's constantly distracted by parasites becomes less aware of predators. For an aging buffalo, losing focus for even a few seconds can be costly. Soon, another helper arrives. Red-billed oxpeckers search through the buffalo's coat with incredible speed, pulling out engorged ticks one after another. They can remove large numbers of parasites every day, making them valuable partners for many large African mammals. But this partnership isn't as simple as it looks. Scientists have observed that oxpeckers don't always stop at ticks. When they find an existing wound, they sometimes peck at the healing tissue and feed on the blood, delaying the wound's recovery. Nature rarely deals in perfect friendships, so the buffalo turns to another strategy. He lowers himself into a cool mud wallow. Thick mud presses into every fold of his skin, surrounding many of the remaining ticks. As the mud begins to dry, it traps parasites against his body and prepares them for the next step. He walks straight to a well-used rubbing tree. With enormous force, he grinds his shoulders and neck against the rough bark. Dried mud cracks apart, loose parasites are scraped away, and years of instinctive behavior begin paying off. Still not finished, the buffalo rolls in fine, dry dust. As the dust and dried mud flake away together, even more stubborn parasites lose their grip. This ancient grooming routine has been repeated by buffalo for countless generations. Finally, as evening approaches, he returns to the river one last time. The fish gather almost immediately. Patiently, they inspect the remaining clusters around his face and shoulders, removing the parasites that survived everything else. By the end of the day, the buffalo isn't parasite-free, but he doesn't need to be. Every tick removed means less blood lost, less irritation, fewer infections, and a better chance of surviving another season on the African savanna. Sometimes, survival isn't about one dramatic fight. Sometimes, it's won through hundreds of tiny battles that almost nobody notices.